2013 is by far one of the most challenging years for government, having to face several economic difficulties. Starting off with the election petition at the Supreme Court, some analysts argued it negatively impacted on productivity, the stock market, and dipped investor confidence and general economic activity, while others thought those arguments were exaggerated. After a successful process, fiscal pressures stared government in the face as revenue inflows began to dwindle and debts also increased. The situation pushed government to introduce new taxes, including the Fiscal Stabilization Levy, Communication Services Tax, and the Import Levy, a move analysts maintained was not economically sustainable.
When we make some allowance for new investments in these companies and ensure that we don't tax those particular components of profit after tax, we will be in a better position to ensure that these particular sectors actually continue to expand and drive growth. And I think that even with enormous tax, spending pressures on the government against tax revenue, even in the short term, we have to make some allowance for new investment in these entities.
The country's currency also continued to depreciate against major currencies, a phenomenon analysts said was a reflection of the weak fundamentals of the economy. A cocoa syndicated loan and Ghana's 10-year Eurobond worth $1 billion issued and listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange were expected to stabilize the cedi and afford local, foreign and prospective investors the opportunity to buy and trade on the secondary market. Civil society groups such as the Institute of Economic Affairs (IEA), the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research (Osei), among others, urged that government overexpenditure amidst fiscal deficits.
If you are cash trapped, it means that you don't have enough cash to meet your expenditure projections, and that's the situation that the government is in now, and it is because of the expansionary policy overspending that we did last year, and we carried arrears also into this year, which we're trying to pay, but we cannot pay them at the pace that is required. We are not getting enough revenues coming into the government kitty. Donors are holding back a bit because of the political situation. Other investors are also not coming as much as is expected.
The challenges further deepened when Ghana dropped 11 places in the 2013-2014 Global Competitiveness Report by the World Economic Forum, a credit rating downgrade by International Credit Rating Agency Fitch, and a ranking in a Gallup survey as the third most corrupt amongst countries with a free press.
Some of our problems are not related to the leader, but are related to our bad institutions or systems in the car. Parliament must work for Parliament to act as a watchdog over the public purse. The judiciary system must work in order to enforce the rule of law so that the corrupt don't walk away with impunity. You have to have a neutral and efficient security forces to make sure that the police are doing their job. They are not just taking bribes.
Inflation also saw an upward trend, hitting 13.2% in November, the highest rate recorded since 2010. The high inflation outlook resulting from the effects of petroleum prices, utility tariff adjustments, as well as continued fiscal and exchange rate pressures, led the Bank of Ghana to close the year with the policy rate unchanged at 16%. Government's quest to address the economic challenges was, however, telling in the budget for 2014.
This fiscal stabilization levy, which is expected to end at the end of December 2014, will now terminate as of June 2014. The special import levy scheduled to end in June 2015 will now end at the close of 2014. Further, it is proposed that the following should be specifically exempted from the import levy with special import levy with immediate effect: agriculture and fishing inputs, such as canvases, outboard motors and fishing nets, medical supplies including condoms, educational materials, and energy bulbs that were exempted from import duty under the original customs tariff.
The central bank also remains positive with its outlook for 2014.
Some of our commodity prices have started strengthening. Cocoa prices especially have seen a lot of improvement, and we expect that this will go into the to next year. So we are expecting a better, stronger next year. We'll be coming out very soon with policies or strategies to ensure that we deal with the current policies that we have, especially in the area of foreign exchange operations.
The coming year promises to be better, with a number of measures introduced, including the two key funds, the Ghana Infrastructure Fund and the SME Fund, in the 2014 budget. To kickstart next year, will vigorously tackle Ghana's fiscal challenges and spur economic growth. Abigail Adomakwenchi for Joy News.